morning to all of you. Am I audible to everyone?
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Hoping everyone is fine and safe at your home. Starting today's lecture of enzymes properties. What are the main properties of enzymes? These are the biological catalysts. Enzymes behave as biological catalysts. How? Because it lowers the activation energy. That energy which is needed for transformation of substrates or reactants into the products. So these enzymes, they catalyze all the chemical reactions, whether it is the digestive reactions or metabolic reactions or other processes like DNA replication, protein synthesis. They are participating in all types of reactions, and that is why they are differentiated into different types of classes from EC1 to EC6. In these classes, all the enzymes are participating in different types of digestive and metabolic reactions. These enzymes, they have a three-dimensional structure, mainly three-dimensional structure, because most of them are made from single polypeptide chain. So these three-dimensional structure, that is the properly folded structure, is responsible for the activeness of enzymes. If the protein is not properly folding into three-dimensional structure, then enzymes can't become active. So those proteins which are destined to become enzymes, they are properly folded in the 3D structure so that they have a specific active site for each of the specific substrates. So important point to note here is that some enzymes are catalyzing more than one substrate. These are exception to the specificity. This specificity, another property of enzyme, we'll learn later on the slides. First, these are about the biological catalyst, how they catalyze reaction, how they lower the activation energy. If this enzyme is absent, then it takes very long time for reactants to convert into products because the activation energy is far high in the absence of enzymes. But when enzyme is present, this activation energy is lowered, as seen clearly from this graph. In the presence of enzyme, the lower graph, that is green colored graph, is shown. Activation energy is reduced. Without enzyme, it is the purple one. Very high activation energy is required for the conversion of these reactants into the products. Another property of enzyme, it is a high catalytic efficiency. It is about 10 to the power 3 to 10 to the power 70 faster than the corresponding uncatalyzed reactions. They have very high specificity, as I told you, interacting with one or a very few specific substrate. Some are only restricted to their single substrate, while some are catalyzing more than one type of substrate, but the reaction is same. They are catalyze only one type of reaction, whatever the substrate is. And the conditions required for the effective enzyme catalyzing reaction is that temperature is normally 37 degrees Celsius, physiological pH, and ambient atmospheric pressure. Although each enzymes have their own optimum pH, where they work in maximum effectiveness. Whether it is the alkaline pH or it is the acidic pH or nearby the neutral pH. Each enzyme has its own pH in which it is working very optimum. again, this is the graph showing how in the presence of enzyme, activation energy is lowered. How can you define the activation energy? What is activation energy? It is the amount of energy required to disrupt, to break the stable molecule, that is the reactants or substrates, so that reaction can take place and product is formed. All chemical reactions, they have an energy barrier that is known as activation energy. This separates the reactants from the product. This has to be overcome by the presence of enzymes. One example is given of the reactant or substrate that is converted into product. Very simple molecule, that is a disaccharide lactose. It is converted into glucose plus galactose. In the first case, it is without enzyme. Activation energy is very high. And in the presence of enzyme, that is the second case, the activation energy is lower. And lactose is converted in the presence of which enzyme? It is lactase into glucose plus galactose. So net energy is released in both the case. This is the starting initial phase, and then the end phase, that is the final phase where product is formed. So first energy is required, that is the activation energy for conversion of substrate into product. And then when product is formed, then net energy is released. Now, another property, very important property of enzyme, by which they bind to the substrate and also they catalyze the substrate. This is the active side. So active side has both the function of binding to the substrate and catalyzing the reaction. What is this active side? It is very small side in comparison to the whole enzyme. And it is the main site which is proposed in the lock and key model and induced fit model for describing the enzyme specificity. So as mentioned here in the figure, active site has both binding site and catalytic site. This is the whole enzyme. There is a small active site. What is the nature? It is composed of amino acids, because enzymes are totally proteins. Most of them are totally proteins, like digestive enzyme. Other ones are mixed, having protein and non-protein part. But the main, that is protein part, that is known as holoenzyme, it has active site, just like the digestive enzyme, which has no non-protein part. But both of them have active site because they are composed of protein part also. So this active site is composed of amino acids, which combined by peptide bonds to make the protein. This is the enzyme reaction steps. In the active site, substrate approaches to this active site. If it is conformationally fit into that site, it forms enzyme substrate complex. And then after this catalysis happens, substrate is transformed into products and product is released while enzyme is recycled. Enzyme can go into another substrate, catalyzing that reaction. So there is no change in enzyme. Enzyme is recycled. So this is our active site. What is the features of active site? The active site, also known as active center of an enzyme, it denotes the small region at which the substrate binds and the catalysis happens. It is the region where both the substrate is binding and the reaction is catalyzed. We have to mention features. By what properties? It has both the that substrate binding and catalysis ability. The existence of active site is due to the tertiary structure of protein. I told you previously that they are made up of amino acids which are far from each other in the linear sequence of amino acids. That is the primary structure. Linear sequence, I told you, whenever it comes that there is a linear sequence of amino acids, means it is the number and sequence of amino acids joined by peptide bond, then it is the primary structure. So in the primary structure, these amino acids are very far away. But since an enzyme, when it becomes active, it assumes the three-dimensional structure. That is the properly folded protein structure. So in this way, these amino acids came nearby to each other in a different manner and they interact in a different manner. This is the basis of different types of active sites in each of the enzyme. The active site is not same in each of the enzyme, whether it's a digestive enzyme, metabolic enzyme, or any other DNA replication or protein synthesis enzyme. Each has its own active site, which is made by folding of proteins and interactions between different amino acid residues. Here it is shown one example of different types of amino acids making up a active site of an enzyme. Lysine, arginine, then arginine again, then histidine, arginine, histidine, and glutamine. So by this conformation, this structure, they have a different sequence of amino acids in each of the active site. And this active site is not fixed. It is flexible according to the substrate. That is why enzyme having its own active site, they can catalyze each type of substrate. So this active site is due to the tertiary structure of protein. It is made up of amino acids known as catalytic residues, and they have a very small region in the big enzyme molecule, and they are not rigid in structure. They are flexible, and they both has a substrate binding and catalytic site, and substrate binds to the active site by weak non-covalent bonds. These are the main features of the active site of an enzyme. Another property of enzyme, that is enzyme activity. Just like other molecules, biomolecules like carbohydrates, proteins, they are not mentioned in terms of unit as milligram or microgram. They are mentioned as enzyme activity. What is this enzyme activity? Is the moles of substrate converted to product per unit time. So the unit in which enzyme is expressed, it is international unit, IU. When someone has gone for a pathological testing of enzymes, that can be a marker for liver or kidney, then you can easily see in that pathological report that enzyme is expressed as short form IU, that is known as international units, not as milligram or microgram. Just like glucose, it is expressed in milligram per dl, means milligram per 100 ml of blood. Enzyme activity has a separate unit. So, in other terms, the rate of appearance of product or rate of disappearance of the substrate is known as the enzyme activity. And how can you measure this enzyme activity? It is by the spectrophotometer, by using the optical density, that is absorbance. We come to the enzyme specificity. They are highly specific with some exceptions. I told you earlier in the class that these exceptions enzyme, they can catalyze more than one substrate through their same active site. So most of them are highly specific. They can catalyze only one type of substrate. So these enzymes are highly specific. They catalyze one chemical reaction having a specific substrate that they can bond with. So this enzyme specificity action is dependent upon these two models. The old model is lock and key model, and the newer model is induced fit model. The lock and key model, why there are some anomalies, demerits, so it is now discarded. That is why this induced fit model came into existence. What are the anomalies? Main anomalies that in the lock and key model, it is that in this model, it explains that active site is rigid. It can't be changed according to the shape of the substrate. This is not true. This is overcome by this induced fit model given by Koshland. Who gives the lock and key model? Anybody knows? Lock and key model proposed by anybody? Can you recollect who proposed the lock and key model? No, Ashik?
Emil Fisher.
Yes, very good. Anil Fisher. Induced fit model is by Koshland. So this anomaly is overcome by induced fit model. It explains that active site are not rigid. They are flexible. They can change according to the shape of the substrate. Enzyme specificity is of two types. That is absolute and broad. Absolute means specific, highly specific, only restricted to a single type of substrate, while broad means it can catalyze more than one type of substrate, but the reaction type is same. Okay. So these are some of the enzymes which come under absolute specificity of enzyme. These are fumarase and aspartase. They exhibit rigid and geometrical specificity so that they can catalyze only one substrate, only their specific substrate. These examples are clearly shown about absolute specificity of enzymes. It acts on only one substrate and catalyze one reaction, like urease. It converts urea into ammonia. It can't convert any other substrate. It is only restricted to urea. This urease enzyme converting urea into ammonia. Another example of absolute specificity, it is fumarate. You are already learned in the TCA cycle. One of the step of TCA cycle, well, fumarase catalyze fumarate into malate. That is why fumarase, it does not react with the malate. That is malate. It only react with the fumarate. Malate has separate enzyme. That is malate dehydrogenase. Now come to second part. That is second type of enzyme specificity. That is known as broad specific enzymes. So these enzymes, apart from catalyzing their own substrate, they can catalyze other substrates also. Similar substrate. Here you are seeing here clearly that these three substrates that are amino acids, they are similar in nature because they are aromatic amino acids. So chymotrypsin, it can catalyze all these three amino acids by breaking the peptide bond. Another example is intestinal phosphatase. So these enzyme, they hydrolyze esters of phosphoric acid. It is shown in detail how chymotrypsin is attacking, that is catalyzing all the three aromatic amino acids present in a sequence of amino acid. A1, A2 means other types of amino acids. A4 is different type of amino acid. In these, there is a middle portion of phenylalanine, tyrosine, and tryptophan. So this is the site of cleavage of chymotrypsin. So the attack on these peptide bonds, combination by phenylalanine, tyrosine, and tryptophan. Those peptide bonds which are formed with the combination of these three aromatics, they are catalyzed by chymotrypsin. Yes, Ashik, you joined now? Ashik, you are hearing my voice? Okay. So both trypsin and chymotrypsin, they are very good examples of broad specificity of enzymes. Trypsin is attacking on peptide bond between glycine and glycine, both in one case, and here in the case of lysine and cysteine. While chymotrypsin, as I already mentioned, it attacks on aromatic amino acid joining peptide bonds. So it is attacking here peptide bond between phenylalanine and proline, tryptophan and aspartic acid. This is the linear chain of amino acid joined by peptide bond. That is the primary structure, having left end as N terminal and the right end as C terminal. So these are some of the applications of enzyme specificity. Lock and key relationship between the substrate and its specific area on the enzyme. Substrate structural features, bonding group or functional group, susceptible bond. So these are the enzyme structural features having active site, that is the binding site, that is the positioning site, and catalytic site. What is the main application of enzyme specificity? It is needed, it is required for drug designing due to their active site. What is the sequence of active site where the research has been going on? Those enzymes having their separate active site, they are needed for drug designing. So this is all about today's class. Thank you, everybody.